Hey guys, how's it going, companion? So I've been playing Hearthstone again recently, as many of you who watch the stream know. It's just like a real feel-good game, man. Like almost every time you play, it just feels really awesome to fuck around with the World of Warcraft characters and all that, and it's just a blast. And time just flies when you're swinging in with your Boulder Fist ogres and mind controls and all that. And yeah, it's great. I'll be casting a Hearthstone tournament. It's like Chinese players versus North American players, and we're doing like Trump and I are doing the casting of the qualifier for the North American, and then we're doing the final matches against the North American team versus the Chinese team. And there's like a pretty big prize pool. It's like several $1,000s for the winning team, and I mean that's pretty crazy for Hearthstone, right? I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people in the beta, but it's not everyone. It's not a live game yet. And on that note, I want to mention some of the things that I've noticed playing Hearthstone again after kind of taking it easy since BlizzCon and the 2 weeks before that. Haven't really done Hearthstone until recently too much for maybe about 3 or 4 weeks where I played PoE, a variety of other games, and I just had some fun elsewhere really. So, what's changed? Well, it seems that whenever I queue up Arena in like the afternoon, and the afternoon for me is like 7, 8, 9, maybe up to midnight Eastern, that is, I queue into just like all new players. Like the other day, there was a druid who had gone second, so he had the coin, and I played a creature on turn 2, played a creature on turn 3, and on his second turn, he uses Innervate, so he's up to 4 mana, with the coin in his hand, and then uses Savage Roar with no creature on board, and he runs his druid into my creature. Just plays like that just blow your mind. I've seen some of this stuff a little bit more recently than I have in the past, and it tends to die off in the early hours of the morning when it's the ending part of my stream. That time seems to be pretty scary. I seem to do pretty badly around that time, maybe 6 wins, maybe 4. Yesterday, I went 0-3 with Paladin. It was the crappiest deck ever, and I queued into tough opponents. But that was, right after I went 9, like 7 arenas in a row, right? So the entire day was 9, and then I go 0-3. So kind of to show you guys a few examples of what's going on there. And the other cool part of the game is that I've noticed on the constructed side, a lot of people are running these crazy aggro decks. And to make these crazy aggro decks work, they're dropping the really common stuff like oozes, silences, the bare bone control mechanics that people used to use, like a month back. And yeah, it works, beats most decks. But when I play Constructed, I like to play this joke deck, the Holy Wrath Paladin deck. It's like the slowest thing ever, and it just has a lot of RNG involved. And it's basically a piece of crap, but it's really fun to play, so I play it, right? And in the past being about a month ago, I did okay. I went like 50%, maybe 60% on some days if I was lucky. But, I wouldn't queue for that much. I'd queue for like an hour and a half. But usually I'd play in the later parts of the evening when, in my opinion, the better players are around. And recently, it's been going crazy. Like, I don't think I've lost in 3 days playing ranked with that terrible deck. And the reason is, no one's running these control cards anymore. And it's really interesting thing to see. And hopefully we'll see this, amplified up when Trump and I are casting the tournament that's coming tomorrow, and the final is about a week from now. That's pretty cool stuff there. Basically, all in all, the game's changing without the game actually changing, and on top of that, there are significantly more players playing it just based on the people that you're running into. So it's pretty cool to see. I definitely think Hearthstone's going to be released in the early parts of next year, and this is just on a basis of, hey, the game is pretty much ready. Yeah, there's like a handful of bugs you gotta fix that are just really annoying, but aside from that, I mean, the game is awesome, and I think when it gets released, when like there's a huge amount of new players that come into it, for players like me, it's going to be hilarious because I don't imagine myself losing very much. But for the players that are new, they're going to re-experience this like curve of change all over again in a cycle, and it's kind of an interesting thing that I didn't really notice too much in the past, as I didn't play Constructed that much, and most of the time I was just focusing on arena picks and that kind of stuff. So really cool stuff there. Hope you guys have enjoyed the Hearthstone ride again, and see you guys tomorrow.